Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
2 people were injured in a motor vehicle crash in Hazleton on Friday. According to police, the crash took place in the 700 block of South Church Street around 6 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, officials say they found a dump truck with severe front-end damage and a severely damaged BMW. Officials say the driver from the BMW was extracted from the vehicle and life-flighted to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley for life-threatening injuries. The dump truck operator was treated for minor injuries at the scene. Emergency crews say the street was closed while the scene was cleared but has since reopened.
During a press conference on Monday, Governor Josh Shapiro addressed questions from reporters regarding rumors that he might be tapped to run as Kamala Harris's vice presidential nominee. Shapiro told reporters that he had spoken with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris a few minutes after Biden issued his announcement to drop out of the 2024 presidential race on Sunday. The topic of conversation, Shapiro said, was defeating former President Donald Trump. At the press conference, Shapiro praised President Biden for being an extraordinary public servant and expressed his confidence that Vice President Harris was ready to be president.
President Biden has often remarked that one of the most important decisions he had to make was selecting a vice president. And in that, he selected Vice President Harris, who has been by his side as this nation has built ourselves back and made extraordinary progress. President Biden yesterday endorsed Vice President Harris, as did I, as did many across this country, not only because of how honorably she has served in the past, but how absolutely ready she is to be president and to be the standard bearer for our party.
When pressed about the possibility of being tapped as the vice presidential nominee, Shapiro said that he did not want to engage in hypotheticals, but that he had full confidence that Harris would pick the best person for the American people.
She will now have to make an important decision, as then candidate Biden had to make, and that is who to run with, who should be her running mate. That's a deeply personal decision, and a decision that should be made really free from any political pressure. It's a decision she needs to make, who she wants to govern with, who she wants to campaign with, and who can be there to serve alongside her when she serves as, God willing, the 47th President of the United States. She will make that decision when she is ready, and I have all the confidence in the world that she will make that decision along with many others in the best interests of the American people.
The press conference was held in Pittsburgh on Monday.
Potential human remains were found in Hazel Township Wednesday morning in a wooded area near Hazel Township Boulevard. State police say the findings are being investigated as skeletal remains. The Luzerne County coroner was also at the scene, along with the Troop N Major Case Team, the Troop N Forensic Services Unit, and the Troop N Collision Analysis Reconstruction Specialist Unit. The investigation is still ongoing and details are limited at this time. Stay tuned on Wyln News for updates on this developing story. Prosecutors are investigating additional evidence from social media for the upcoming trial of 2 teens charged with murder in Hazel Township. 19-year-old Raymer Gonzalez of Hazleton and 19-year-old Ishmael Valdez Batista of Monoy City are scheduled to stand trial in September. According to police, the charges stem from the death of 18-year-old Rolando Cepeda Jr., who was murdered on April 14, 2023, at the Performance Auto Repair Shop in Hazel Township. During a hearing on Tuesday, Gonzalez's attorney, William Stevens Jr., challenged the authenticity of some of the prosecution's evidence, including messages and videos linked to social media accounts. However, officials say Gonzalez was found with a notebook bearing the names on the social media accounts and a crude drawing of the victim. Luzerne County Judge David Lupas has not yet ruled on whether the evidence can be properly authenticated and presented to a jury. Gonzalez and Valdez Batista remain behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility.
A man charged with the murder of 2 Schuylkill County teens appeared in court on Wednesday for a preliminary hearing. 19-year-old Lamore Branch of Port Carbon is facing homicide charges for the deaths of 18-year-old Hunter Mock and 16-year-old Angelito Caraballo. Investigators say the murder occurred on October 8th in a wooded area near New Philadelphia. During the hearing, the court heard testimony from the state trooper leading the case as well as a witness, 20-year-old Jalik Sherwood, who was present with Branch, Caraballo, and Mock on the night of the murders. Sherwood testified that he saw Branch pull out a gun but fled the scene before the murders occurred. Branch was later arrested at his mother's property in Wright Township. During the arrest, police say they found parts of a 9mm ghost gun and a knife that matched evidence found at the scene. At the conclusion of the hearing, the judge decided that the case will now head to trial. Police say a wanted man in Hazleton should be considered armed and dangerous. According to Hazleton City Police, Alejandro Diaz Tejada is wanted on several felony counts of delivery of a controlled substance. Police say the suspect has been selling fentanyl in the Hazleton area over the last several months. Diaz Tejada is a Hispanic male standing 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing 134 pounds. He is described as having black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts is asked to call 911. President Joe Biden addressed the nation on Wednesday regarding his decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential election. During the address, Biden told the nation that the defense of democracy is more important than any title and that he would not let personal ambition come in the way of saving America's democracy. Biden's decision to drop out of the race came amid rising skepticism from Democrats following his debate performance against former President Donald Trump in June. The pressure on Biden to step aside continued to mount as Democrats began to question if Biden, at the age of 81, was still fit for the high-pressure job of president. Biden announced his decision through social media on Sunday and followed up by endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for the nomination. In his address on Wednesday, Biden said that the best way forward was to pass the torch to a new generation and to make room for fresh voices.
Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Catawissa Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
WYLN News is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
My name is Andy and tomorrow is going to be sunny.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hi everybody. This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, I'm going to talk all about car accidents and car insurance. How car insurance covers chiropractic care, so stay tuned. This time of year with the holidays, everybody's traveling. Tune into the show.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
The 1920s would become known in years to follow as essentially a decade of fun. For many Catawissa residents, fun in the summer months would include traveling several miles south to the village of Elysburg. There, on the property of Hartman Henry Knoebel, who owned a sawmill on site, stood a covered bridge, off which many guests from neighboring communities took to jumping off into the cool waters of Roaring Creek. As the years had gone by, the number of these tally-hoes, as they were called, grew ever larger. Aware of the popularity that swimming in Roaring Creek held for locals, Henry Knoebel and his wife Hattie thought it would be a nice gesture to build an actual pool for the tally-hoes to swim in. Thus, in November of 1925, Henry contracted his brother Harvey to dig out a pool near the covered bridge with an ancient steam shovel. It opened to the public on the 4th of July, 1926. A carousel, leased from Joseph Gallagher of Philadelphia, also greeted the pool's initial guests, as did numerous summer cottages, some of them inventively themed as covered wagons, trolleys, boats, and the like. What was soon known as Knoebel's Groves continued to grow around the pool, with concession stands and more rides added over time. 1941 saw the installation of a larger merry-go-round, the Grand Carousel at the park. Carved by Charles Carmel, it allowed guests to try and catch a brass ring on the ride. Today is one of the few active remaining carousels to have this option. The park was closed for all of 1943 due to World War II rationing, but reopened the following year and continued its expansion, adding bumper cars and motorboats to the ride collection. Henry Knoebel died in 1952, having seen his pool and the amusement park that grew around it begin to become an area institution. His family, led by his youngest son Pete and daughter-in-law Peg, continued to grow the park. In 1957, they added a spaceship simulator ride, one of the first of its kind. Utilizing an old dump truck's hydraulic lift, the rocket ride lifted guests up and down as they watched a film showing them flying to the moon. Wafers would also be handed out to riders, supposedly dehydrated space food. The ride would be plagued by mechanical issues, and eventually the rocket would be locked upright and transformed into the park's long-running Sky Slide attraction. Much more successful would be Knoebel's Haunted Mansion ride, which opened for the bravest of riders in 1973. It remains rated as one of the best dark rides of its kind today. In 1985, the Knoebel family made a bold move to bring a roller coaster to the park. They found the right candidate inside San Antonio's former Playland Park, where the rocket had been left standing in place after the park had closed in 1980. Knoebels purchased the ride, dismantled it, and reassembled it on the west side of their park. The reborn roller coaster, now known as the Phoenix, opened for Knoebel's riders on June 15, 1985 to rave reviews. It is still considered one of the best roller coasters in the country by riders today. Knoebel's management attempted to repeat that feat in the 90s, making a bid for Mr. Twister at Denver's Elitch Gardens amusement park. A well-remembered ride in its heyday, Mr. Twister had been left standing in place when Elitch Gardens had relocated to a larger location in 1994. Ultimately, though, it was determined the ride was in too poor condition to run again. Knoebel's management, however, purchased Mr. Twister's original blueprints and built their own roller coaster from it. Known as Twister, it opened for riders on July 24, 1999. Steel coasters have also operated Knoebel's over the years, including the Jetstar from 1977 to 1992 and the Whirlwind from 1993 to 2004, as well as juvenile coasters, the high-speed Thrill Coaster, which ran from 1955 to 2008, its successor Cosmos Curves, named for the park's longtime mascot. Today, many other local amusement parks have come and gone, but what is now known as Knoebel's Amusement Resort, which is still run by members of the Knoebel family, remains open as the largest amusement park in America to still offer free parking and free admission to guests, entertain visitors from Catawissa and further afield with summer delights and entertainment. Back in Catawissa proper, another landmark business opened in 1926 as well, the Catawissa Bottling Company. Founded by the husband-wife team of Bruce and Suzanne Grigorovich, who received a license from the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture to bottle soda, it took root in a former creamery building. Some of its original products include birch beer, root beer, cola, ginger ale, lemonade, and numerous flavors of soda, including orange, lemon, cherry, and grape soda. Other flavors have been added over the years. In addition, the Catawissa Bottling Company is currently one of 6 establishments in the United States authorized to sell Maine's Moxie soda, having had this privilege since 1978 and previously from 1945 to 1967. Heavy manufacturing was commonplace in northeastern Pennsylvania in the early 20th century, and Catawissa was no different. The Bloomsburg Hosiery Mill was just one of the industrial titans that operate in the borough at this time, as too did the Maxey Manufacturing Company, which today has been repackaged as the Old Valve Factory, which hosts weddings and other formal events. For entertainment, Catawissa residents could see a film at the Andrea Theater, which opened in 1939. It was built by Peter Magazu, whose family ran a series of theaters in the area, including the Angela Theater in Coaldale, Schuylkill County. Magazu named the theater after his family members, the Andrea being after his father. The Andrea Theater was sold in 1956, and the building today is home to the Bethel Assembly of God Church. Towards the end of the 20th century, one thing was connected with Catawissa more than anything else: Southern Columbia football. In the early years of the school's existence, its gridiron program was so bad, in its first 17 years the program had 7 coaches and only 58 total wins, the victories would often trigger a day off school for students the following Monday. This would change with the arrival of Coach Jim Roth in 1984. Roth quickly built the Tigers program up into a powerhouse by the late 80s. In 1994, he would break through after several years of near misses, winning the school's first Class A state championship over Western Beaver. After a somewhat dry stretch by its new standards, the program then won 5 straight state championships behind fullback Henry Hynoski in the 2000s, and even more followed after that. In 2020, Roth passed Berwick's George Curry to become Pennsylvania's all-time winningest football coach. His legacy in Catawissa and Pennsylvania's history, thus by now quite secure.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined with Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Thank you again, Ryan, for spending time with me.
Oh, I love it coming down here. You know, it's one of my favorite things to do. But today we're going to talk about getting out of a car because it's important. Because you could throw yourself out getting out of a car very easily.
You know, when you're in practice for 44 years, Ryan, those practical tips, the average person doesn't even think about it. They're sitting in a vehicle, they just put one leg out, twist to get out, and so often in my care you have to be detected. So let's say I correct you, you're doing fine. You make a long trip and you're back out again, and I say, how do you get in and out of your car? And they, well, I just flip my leg out, and when I get in, I flip. So when I say to them, from now on, all people, in my opinion, I don't care if it's a sedan or SUV, you can't on a big, tall truck. Open that car door, turn your body so you're 90 degrees. Put your rear end in first, then swivel both feet. When you get out, open the door, swivel both feet out, then stand upright. Sounds like such a simple advice, but it can help people to hold the alignment and prevent injuries because people are always throwing their back getting out of a car. Long distance drives, it's better to be in a higher SUV than it is a small, lower sedan. So long trips on vacation this summer, take your SUV.
It's also important to remember this because when you're in a hurry, it ingrains you as a habit. So you'll do these habits and perform them and not, throw your body around.
So many people have these bad habits, don't need to think twice about them. So incorporate this good habit, and then you'll always, I get in all the time like an old person with my feet rear end first or my feet come out first. So try to do that from now on.
Yep. Valuable advice from Dr. John. I'd like to thank him for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
Wyln and Lehigh Valley Health Network will be showcasing an inside look at local farmers, the nutritional benefits of farm-to-table living, all summer long and into the fall, fresh from the farm. See what great, fresh food you can pick up every Wednesday on Wyln TV 35. Fresh from the Farm, brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
This is Representative Dane Watrow. My district offices in Hazleton and Monterey City offer a variety of state-related services. We have forms to obtain a driver's license, handicap placard, or birth certificate. We can also help with prescription drug assistance, property tax, and rent rebates, veterans information, fishing and hunting licenses, and more. My friendly staff can answer all your questions. Stop by and let us serve you.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Wyln TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.